Hi there, so today we are going to be doing some crocheting. We are going to be making a granny square. Hopefully I'll be able to finish the entire thing, but who knows. And these squares are used on my little blanket thingy, which maybe one day I will be able to finish. So I am going to be using this color for the square that is going to go in here, and then the yellow one will be here, like so, something. So without further ado, let me put this back and let's get started. So I am going to start by, let's see, doing a loop like that around my fingers and then inserting and pulling through, and that gives me my starting loop. So all of these squares is the only crocheting I've ever done. And I've done every crochet granny square the exact same way, so I don't know if I am doing it the right way or if I'm using the right techniques, but I'm just doing something that apparently seems to work. So if I do something very silly, then please let me know, or at least please forgive my newbiness. So we are going to be chaining 6 chains. From 6, and then going in here. If I can get it in. Okay. And just doing a slip knot through both of them. So now we have our little crochet loop. Yep. And I have my ASMR microphone right here, so hopefully it can catch some of the sounds without me having to speak into the microphone. So voice in here, crochet in there. Hopefully. We'll see. So I am going to chain 3, 2, 3, and then I think it's called a double crochet. So I am out of breath. I am swirling it around, yarn over, I think, going through, here, picking it up. So I have 3 loops on the needle, and then pulling through 2. So I have 2 on the needle, and pulling through 2 more, like so. And we'll do that once more over here. Let's see, where can I have my hands? Here. And that is 3 double crochets, or well, 1 chain and 2 double crochets. So that makes our first little square thing. And then I like to chain 2 and repeat, going in the big hole. So that's how I do my granny squares, and I just keep going around and around. careful. So now we have two, one here and one here with a hole here. So that's one corner of a granny square. So then we'll chain two again and repeat. I remember when I did my first granny square, then I did the double crochets into this loop, so it got like this weird shape. And I kept doing that a lot, so I had to rip it up, frog it back, I think is what they say. And then chain two, and then we'll do the final quadrant, I guess, maybe. Going through here. And then chain two again. And I'm always really bad at knowing where I'm supposed to add these. But I think it's here. This one. That looks about right. So that is our innermost granny square. And then we'll chain 4, 3, and just repeat in the new holes. And that is the entire process. So now, with that done, I can lean back, not have to flex my abs so much or my back muscles when I'm leaning forward. And yeah, we can talk about something else. For example, I have these little chickens right next to me. At work the other day, I was in charge of making a little Easter themed table, so I did that. And when I got home, I was inspired to Easter decorate, and you might see here there's a little half circle thingy also here. You see it barely. Those are Easter eggs that I put up as wall decorations. So I had a small one and a medium-sized one, and yeah, I put those up, but it still looks a bit lacking. It's pretty big white space here behind me, especially when you go up there. So I'm thinking about making something, like painting something maybe, which I could put up. So maybe that could also be a video. We'll see. And I guess I could take it down. I won't be able to put it back up sitting down here, but maybe I can show you what they look like in a second. So here's one. It's a bunny Mr. It's Mr. Bunny and Mrs. Chicken. No, Hen. Mrs. Hen. And there are little chickens and Easter eggs and a butterfly and a happy sun. I don't know, do you have these in your country? We fill this with candy and give it to kids, and I thought this was a cute wall decoration. I'll see if I can put it back up. Nope, I'll do that later. So that was the medium-sized one, and I can't reach it. But there's a smaller one. It has like a bunny that's pushing a wheelbarrow collecting the eggs, which have been growing, I guess. But yeah, it's a bit kitschy, maybe. Kitsch, is that a correct word? But I like it. Just like my little chickens here. One is shouting up in the air, looks like this. One is on its back, so it lies on its back. And then one is on its tummy, like that. Yeah. I thought it was cute. I bought them last year. These are for this year. Every year I tend to buy one new decoration item, so that nothing ever matches, but they all look like they belong together. Sort of eclectic like. And I do that for all my like seasonal decorations. So I have the same process with my Christmas decorations, and I have the same process with my Halloween decorations. They have sort of criteria what I like, so I don't really like plastic so much, plastic decorations. I prefer paper, like the eggs, like these ones, paper eggs, or ceramics. I like ceramics, but not so much plastic, which is not too difficult for Easter, but for Halloween there's a lot of plastic Halloween decorations and not so much ceramics or paper, so it's difficult, more difficult. But so far I've managed something every year. Okay. Let's see, what else can we talk about? I was at the optician, maybe, the other day, and I got some new glasses, which I'll be able to get in a few weeks. And they look kind of like these ones, but they're more rounded on the bottom, so they're sort of the same here, but then rounded. The last time I went, when I got these ones, they thought I should use round frames, but I was used to very heavy black square glasses, so that was a bit much for me. So I got these, which are a little rounded. And then this time it was another guy that was helping me in the store, and he said that I should be wearing round glasses as well. But so we tried out a few round glasses, but it was still a bit too much, so we went with somewhere in between round and this sort of rounded square, so it's like squarish round. So in a few videos, when I start wearing those, you will start to be able, what am I saying? You will be able to see me wear the squarish round glasses. Because apparently my left eye has gotten a little bit worse. The eyesight has gotten a bit worse. So this eye is basically the same as previously. This one has gotten worse, so I'm getting stronger glasses on this eye. And then I thought, why not just get some new glasses as well? And you might have noticed that I'm a little out of breath recently, more so than usual. And that is another medical condition that I've been having, one that actually sent me to the emergency room. Was it in January, maybe? Yeah, I think so. January or February. I think it was January. And yeah, I'm having some trouble breathing. But they've checked everything. They checked my heart. It sounds okay. They x-rayed my lungs. They look okay. I had a camera shoved up my nose. And yeah, I have a deviated septum, but not so much that they thought it was causing the issue, but it might be it combined with some other things, which I got some medicine for, so hopefully that will clear itself up, and hopefully it was that, so that I don't have to worry anymore about it and can start breathing normally and exercising again, because I haven't done that in a long time because of this or this. So yeah, hopefully it will all be good soon. I really miss running, like really miss running. So now we're done with the second round. Now we have 3 holes and we're going for 5. So hopefully soon I will not have to breathe so strangely, because right now, like, it feels my nose is just not enough, so I have to breathe with my mouth, and I've always been a little bit of a mouth breathery person, not like like that, but just like when I speak I use my mouth very much. But now I can really feel the difference, and it's annoying. So we'll see what happens. And I think I need to sneeze, but I'm gonna keep it in. So I don't need to edit the video, I can just publish it. 'Cause I'm lazy. And I didn't really have a plan for this video, I just thought, hey, I could record something, because I didn't do it for Friday, but we can upload this a little bit later, and you'll still get a video this week, and hopefully that will make you happy. But it's funny because, speaking about the breathing thing, they said that it seemed to be a condition caused by dry air, and it's winter, which means that indoor air is dry. And when I was getting my eyes checked, she said I had my eyes looked like they were affected by dry air. So that was the second time with two unrelated things, both caused by dry air. So I have this air humidity measuring thing, and I checked them, and the air humidity is supposed to be between 50 and 70. Mine was 35. So part of rehab might be to increase humidity somehow. I bought some plants. You've seen the one that's been here, which is over there, because I opened the window and I was afraid that the draft might not be very good for it, because it's still negative degrees outside. But since it's so cold right now, I can't buy any more plants, because before I can get them home, they will die. So I have to wait for it to get a little bit warmer, and then I can buy plants that are good at hydrating the air, or moisturizing the air. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's one thing. I also have a water humidifier, air humidifier. But I'm really bad at remembering to turn it on. So it doesn't help very much when it's not on. So I have to remember to do that, and I accidentally dropped both stitches here, but that's okay. That's one thing I like about crochet, is a lot more forgiving in that way compared to knitting. But I must say I prefer knitting every day of the week. I am okay with crocheting, but I think just knitting is a lot more fun. But I want to be able to do both. I'm also able to do needle binding, which I think is even more fun to do than knitting, but I've only done it once, when I made a couple of gloves, and I don't really know. I don't have experience in needle binding enough so that I know what I can do. And now, look, I got distracted and did something stupid, and you can see here. So you have this hole here, and then this bar, and then this bar here. So I did a double crochet into this hole instead of this hole, which, yeah, it looks stupid. So we'll have to rip it back like so. Oops, I did it too much, but that's okay. Yeah, needle binding is so much more fun, I think, because it's so different, and like few people have ever heard of it. And yeah, I just like it for some reason a lot more than crocheting and a bit more than knitting. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm supposed to make with it. I haven't really gotten to that point yet, so maybe that's something to look up. Let me just finish this corner, and then I would like to take a sip of my drink because I'm feeling a little parched. Like so. It's some sort of immune response tea. It's supposed to boost your immunity. I'm not sure I really buy that, but hey, it's tasty. And it's not like medical tea. It's just, it has orange and ginger and stuff like that. That's supposed to be good for you during like flu season and cold season and stuff like that. So I just thought, why not? It doesn't have any caffeine in it, and since it's almost midnight, I thought that maybe I can drink that and I won't be up all night. Because I've been busy all day. My friends came over for a visit. It was the first time they saw my apartment, and I've lived here for many years. But we joked that it might be the last time they can see it, because hopefully I'll get a new apartment soon. Something a bit more in my price range. Where I can still live alone. Because I dread having to live with someone else. It was okay in the past because I lived with my parents, and then they got a divorce, so I lived with my dad, and then I moved in with my ex, or with my ex family, and then my ex and I moved into an apartment, and then we broke up and I moved to Norway. And then I came back to Sweden, and then I moved in with my friend and his family, and because I didn't have anywhere to live and I didn't want to move in with my parents, either one of them. And then I got this place where I live with a roommate, and then he moved out, and then I got another roommate, and then the pandemic came and he got a little spooked, I guess. So he fled the country to his home country, and since then I've lived alone, and I mean that was 2020, and now it's 2023, and yeah, I've lived alone since then, and I've gotten used to it, so I don't think I would be able to live with someone anymore. So yeah, that is my life story in movings. Nope, wrong hole. There. So then we are done with the third round. So now we have 4 holes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here I like to turn it around and work it backwards. 2, 3. Yeah. Just because I find it is easier to have the the edge stitch, which you can see here, this edge part here. I find it easier to have it on the back side when attaching it to this one, so that's what I do. That is one of the changes I've made actually since starting it, so it's not entirely the same from the beginning, but yeah, it's a growth process, this thing here. I sat down the other day and tried to make ribbing for a cardigan, but I don't know if I did it right or wrong or anything, so I just ripped it back up and went back to doing squares. My mom likes to do crochet a lot, so I thought I'd get a pattern one day and just sit down with her and maybe she can help me get started and everything like that. And we'll have some mother and son bonding, and that's always good. So this will be the final round, and then I usually just crochet it straight onto the blanket with when I use these colors, the brown ones. So that's why I have a finished yellow one but a not finished brown one. But I don't think we are going to be doing that in this video, because we've already passed half an hour. But I figured we'd complete this square. So that you've seen a square go from a little circle around my finger to a proper square, and this is something that I just find mind-blowing, that just these movements and you're able to get like a piece of fabric. I think I've said it before, but it's like magic to me. So and of course, when I'm not speaking, I can do these faster. I usually watch something on YouTube and I just do a quick square and it's done. Or sometimes I take it with me onto the train when I'm going to work, and I just do one on my commute. And people do look at me while I'm doing it. But usually it's just a quick glance and probably thinking, okay, and then they go back to doing whatever they were doing. So I don't let it bother me too much. Nobody has ever commented on it, and I think that's nice. I don't know how I would react if someone, well, even if it's like positive, just like saying, oh, I love that you're doing this, blah blah blah. I think I would be very, very awkward about it. I'd be like, yeah, okay, tack. And tack is thank you in Swedish. Or I might just look at them like and then just go back to my stuff. I'm pretty awkward in real life. I don't know how much of that comes through into the videos, but yeah. I hate getting praise. I just, not because it doesn't feel good, it's just I don't know what to do. I'm just like, okay, thank you. So yeah, a little weird, this guy. Or not a little, very much so, I would say. Almost done. Just this part here left. And it's basically just doing the same thing over and over again. Which is kind of good because it's kind of letting your brain just rest sort of activity. So you can just like watch TV and just do this and oh wow, I'm done. Although, just like with my new knitting method, I am a little bit too newbie to do that fully. But yeah, I'm starting to get there. See, I was able to do almost the entire thing without looking. But it just feels safer to look at what you're doing. But one day we will get there. But so yeah, maybe not the next video because that's a knitting video, but maybe the one after that we might be able to do some drawing, so I can do some drawing for Easter decorations. And we'll see about that and how that goes, but I think that might be fun. There. And these are the final ones. The final double crochet thingy, if that's what they were called. Chain 1. Let's see, and 3. That. And let's see, will we pull through? And finally, there we go. So now I would just put 2 and 2 together and crochet the entire edge around. And it will be attached to the blanket. So there we go. A granny square I can show you. Let me just pull out the hole a little bit so it doesn't unravel. And there we have it, a granny square. It's not perfect, it's a little bit wonky. You would usually wet these and then let them dry in like a little thingy so that they become nice and even, but I don't care. I accept the wonky and I just put them straight onto the blanket. Yeah, so yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and take care.